This is Part 3, Episode 159. 72,000 assisting threads, with 1,440 main threads. They weaved through and made the genetic and soul crystal balls merge perfectly with the body, making the entire interior of the body into an internal universe. A normal warrior would undergo normal evolution at the breakthroughs naturally. This technique's training manual, however, let the body imitate an internal universe that pushed the body to evolve at the genetic level. Every time the genes evolved a little, it would make the body's power grow by a huge amount. Hence, the evolution of the genes had to be extremely slow and cautious. The moment there was a mistake, it would result in the body, soul and genetic energy balls crumbling. This is simply too shocking. The drops of energy followed the threads constantly and permeated his body's cells, pushing them to evolve from within. The 72,000 supporting threads and the 1,440 main threads formed a perfect universe revolution, pushing each cell to change slowly. Though slow, it was ongoing. Gene's evolution caused great change in the body. Noises resounded from his bones and muscles throughout. This is simply too shocking, too wonderful. Luo Feng closed his eyes. His face revealed an expression of excitement. It wasn't because of the evolution of his genes, but because of the perfect universe that was formed within. 72k assisting threads and 1440 main threads. The genetic and spirit energy crystal balls along with the body. All these merged together to form a universe within. Luo Feng was purely following the instructions of the manual. He didn't even understand the wonders within, going word for word from the manual when he felt this. He was fascinated. Incomparably fascinated. Almost as though he saw the most beautiful thing in the world. As time passed, Luo Feng was completely fascinated by the perfect universe formed within his body, and his genes were being pushed to evolve by this revolving universe. 1 day, 2 days, in the blink of an eye, 20 days had passed. Luo Feng suddenly twitched violently. Not good. He stared wide-eyed, his eyes bloodshot. All his skin and muscles were tearing and his bones breaking. Suddenly he became a bloody sight. The perfect universe within his body was also affected by this. It shook without a sound, and suddenly, his entire being crumbled to ashes. His clothes fell on the floor, leaving behind a pile of ash. Luo Feng was gone. Within his internal world, in mid-air of the vast metal continent, powerful gold energy madly gathered and formed around the core, forming a golden round ball. Large amounts of gold mist entered and it got stronger and stronger. Rumble. The golden ball split apart almost like an egg. A completely naked black-haired man floated within. It was his earth body revived. The manual was right. He nodded. This evolution technique is very dangerous. Of the 9 levels, every one of them can destroy me if I'm not careful. Increasing the safety. 1. The body has to be strong enough. 2. The universe must be constructed more perfectly. The stronger the body the better. If it were a powerful undying, reaching a level of which he can revive at the cellular level, then there would be no danger in this training. Even if he is reduced to dust, he could reform and try again. Of course, because Luo Feng had his other bodies, he had the same safety effect. And the universe that was formed within, even though the manual describes how to build it, it only roughly stated so. According to the manual, the closer to perfect the universe was built within, the closer it was to the true wonders of the universe. Then even a weaker body wouldn't have a problem. Universe revolution. Unbelievable. Just who created this technique? Luo Feng's eyes was filled with disbelief. Don't tell me he's already reached a level of which he exceeds the universe laws. The universe was incredibly mysterious. Just the laws alone, there were many kinds. And the movement of the universe, of which the many laws interweave and revolve, it was akin to many gears working together. Like time, space, they couldn't be separated. Only when they worked together would the framework of the universe space be complete. Hence, to comprehend this entire revolution was harder than simply comprehending the time or space laws. Just what level of being was this, to be able to create a technique that simulates the universe revolution? Luo Feng's eyes were filled with that of wisdom, almost like when he was studying math in school. Luo Feng could now, through the 72,000 assisting threads and 1,440 main threads, his genetic and spirit energy balls and body, he could use them all to study the universe. The space and time laws, gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, light, thunder, these were the universe origin laws, yet they only made up a part of the entire revolution of the universe. I cannot even imagine or picture that the universe's revolution can be simulated through 72,000 assisting threads and 1,440 main threads, his genetic and spirit energy balls and body. Even just the characteristics of it, That alone is unbelievable. Luo Feng looked up at the space above and felt fascinated. Completely fascinated. Of course, no matter how fascinated he was, that was simply it. Luo Feng had yet to completely comprehend one of the origin laws, yet to become an undying. He didn't even have the ability to touch the true revolution of the universe. He vanished from the internal world. Within the secret room, a nude Luo Feng appeared in mid-air. The cloud contact vine that fell on the floor swiftly became clothes that covered his body. The earth body and the golden horned beast are both flesh and blood life forms. Since the earth body failed, I'll let the golden horned beast try. Luo Feng sat cross-legged. In the internal world, the golden horned beast lay across the vast land, like a huge black mountain range. The golden horned beast was different from humans. Firstly, its genetic energy crystal ball was actually the four horns on its head. From the moment it's born, it would constantly put all its genetic energy into its horns. Now, its true core and soul was either always with the human body or the Mosha body. However, the consciousness required a vassal, and only the soul crystal ball had a consciousness. Hence there's another soul crystal ball within the golden horned beast's body, exactly alike to the human body's soul crystal ball. Actually, whether it was the human body or the crystal ball from the golden horned beast body, it was exactly the same as the soul within the main core. The only difference was, the core and soul were connected to the internal world. The moment the soul crumbled, the internal world would crumble, and Luo Feng would really be done for. And the earth human body, the golden horned beast and the Mosha clansman, even if the three bodies were destroyed, it didn't affect the main core. I'll let the golden horned beast try if it can complete it. I hope it doesn't fail. The human body is only that big. If it fails, I can easily recreate another body and the energy used wouldn't be that much. However, the golden horned beast is even bigger than a mountain range. The moment it fails to actually recreate another body, the energy used would be even more than 10,000 times that of the human body. The human body was not even 2 meters tall. The golden horned beast's body was 90 kilometers long. Its tail alone was close to 90 kilometers long. Its height was taller than the tallest mountain of Earth by many times. Recreating the Earth human body was but a simple dish. To recreate the huge golden horned beast, the energy used from the internal world, Luo Feng would probably have to delay his breakthrough to the sector lord level by a few years. In a flash, a month had passed. Within the secret room, Luo Feng opened his eyes and revealed a smile. He had been training the Nameless Manual's first portion this entire month. Of course he only had the first portion anyway. His earth body had failed 3 times, however his strength had risen, it actually doubled. The golden horned beast had carefully trained cautiously, every time acting according to the earth body's experience. It would proceed a little and stop and wait for the human body to gain more experience before continuing. Even so, the golden horned beast still died once. Its huge body crumbled instantly. However, to Luo Feng's surprise, as it crumbled, the large amounts of ash that was formed actually merged together to form a brand new golden horned beast body. Meaning, those ashes had the same amount of energy as the entire beast. Energy preservation. Luo Feng was excited then. Right? Whether the golden horned beast was destroyed or revived, it was all within its internal world. Energy preservation wouldn't be a weird thing. The genes of the golden horned beast is much stronger than the earth humans. This evolution is obviously harder. This month, the beast's body has increased by about half. Its improvement isn't as fast as the earth human body. Luo Feng muttered, smiling. Right, its improvement wasn't as fast as the earth human body. However, the golden horned beast was already extremely terrifying and powerful, raising its strength another 50%. That was shocking. Luo Feng got up and opened the door of the room. Walking in the pathway, he asked, Barbata. Luo Feng, what's up? The Virtual Universe Company sent 29 technical staff. My Luo family also arranged for over 10 million universe workers to carry out the large-scale construction, remodeling the Earth. I had you supervise the entire process. There hasn't been any incidents, right? Luo Feng asked. Right now the Earth's remodeling was already in its later stages. Naturally the Virtual Universe Company's technology was very advanced, hence the process was also fast. Of course there haven't been any incidents. I placed over 10 million robots even smaller than mosquitoes on those workers as surveillance. The moment they discover any material similar to the black metal board, they would immediately report. Barbata answered. How's it going? Has there been a second piece? Luo Feng asked. While he was immersed in training, he had ordered. Very obviously, the piece he had was incomplete, at least it had the full first portion in the manual, the 8 other levels behind were incomplete. Nothing. Barbata answered. Let's do this, we'll build search robots on a large scale. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. This manual is an invaluable treasure. From Luo Feng's perspective, it was probably worth more than all his treasures combined. If you have no time to build them, just order them, order a large amount of little search robots and excavate the entire Earth. Understood. Barbata was very excited. Luo Feng didn't expect to be able to find on his home planet of Earth this valuable black metal board. However, from his deduction, he had only acquired a small part of it. There would very likely be other parts on Earth. With his order, they swiftly ordered 1 trillion little searching robots that were sent directly to a mineral planet close to Earth in the Void District where the exchange took place. After which, Luo Feng's ship brought the large amount of search robots back to Earth. The method to go through universe transfer from the dark universe to Earth's coordinates covered by the space technique. That was an absolute secret belonging only to the Luo family. As Barbata controlled the countless little robots that plunged deep into the many continents, oceans, etc., beginning their search. Within the dark universe, a black beam of light swiftly flew through the silent dark universe. Its speed exceeded light speed. Suddenly, it began to slow down. Very quickly, one could visibly see that this was a human-shaped being, he engulfed in an ancient purple armor, with only his eyes visible under his helmet. A body flying through the dark universe. This was the mark of an undying. Of course, within the universe, some powerful sector lords from the stronger races could go through universe travel too, but these were rare. Using space technique to hide the coordinates. A hoarse voice resounded in the dark universe. Humph. This is very average. I can easily break it. However, since I don't want to let the virtual universe company discover any traces, I cannot just break it. Then, to go through universe travel, that would take some time. The purple armored warrior flew slowly, his eyes coldly gazing about. The surrounding 10,000 li of space shook with his gaze. The space warped and changed. The purple armored warrior became a blur too. Simultaneously, he kept changing his position. After about half an hour, the purple armored warrior that was constantly moving about suddenly stopped. At the same time, the dark universe sent him out into the actual universe. A large sun-like star, around it other planets revolved. This was the solar system. The beautiful quiet solar system space. The purple armored man appeared from nowhere. The mission has been completed, I cannot delay. The purple armored god gazed at the distant sky blue planet, that should be the Earth in the report, the home of the absolute genius Luo Feng. HMPH, very quickly, another genius of humanity will fall. He waved and a grey universe ship that had a diameter of 120 meter appeared. The purple armored god instantly became a black light, and quickly accelerated to light speed with his body, vanishing from the actual universe, leaving behind that disc-shaped grey universe ship. The ship's Ari spoke. Universe marker confirmed. We've arrived at the destination. 13th team, begin scout plan. The grey disc-shaped ship flew towards Earth. Captain, who sent us directly here? Which undying? I haven't even seen an undying in the organization. Shut up, these are things even I don't have the right to know. The 13th team members discussed within the ship, arriving at Earth. 3 days later. In the underground secret base of the seemingly mundane life planet Waylo. Captain, the Earth team has sent a report. Number 9 has as report. The black uniformed bald three-eyed man revealed a smile. After 402 levels of translation, along with the characters from that universe coordinate, the details of the report are, Superior Captain, it's as our worst expected situation. Earth has already been completely remodeled. Our 13th team has no way of getting close to Luo Feng or assassinating him. The silver uniformed man said respectfully. The humans have always protected their geniuses well. The black uniformed bald three-eyed man smiled. He had never planned on assassinating him now. What's more, killing any one of the absolute geniuses of the 1008 universe countries would always result in a huge cavity. The virtual universe company would definitely begin a huge search, an investigation, sweep etc. Pass the order. The black uniformed man spoke. The silver uniformed man immediately listened intently. According to the order before, invade the Earth and search all information with regards to Luo Feng. There's currently no time limit on this. The black uniformed man said. Yes. With the arrangement of the mysterious organization, the 13th group invaded Earth. Luo Feng didn't even detect them. Luo Feng continued with his training. One was studying that nameless manual. Of course, more of his energy was still spent on time-space scribbles and the 9-universe tablet along with the claw techniques. According to his plan, the time he's placed outside as a domain lord, he would mostly remain on Earth. Unless the virtual universe company arranged for special missions. In the silence, years passed by. In the blink of an eye, Luo Feng had returned back to Earth for over 50 years already. Earth, Asia continent, Yangzhou City, Luo family. Your Great Highness, Luo Feng, your position as the Ganwu Department's supervisor envoy from the Virtual Universe Company, over these 50 years, you've done some great work. A white-robed bald man smiled happily and said, why don't you tell the great stories so we peasants who've never seen anything can hear about them? Second brother, the moment you get back to Earth you tease me. Come, sit. Luo Feng smiled and shouted. Ha ha. Thunder God laughed and Saturday. Luo Feng chatted with his second brother and exclaimed over the past 50 years. It had been very peaceful the past 50 years he was back. With his status as the supervisor envoy, he would frequently go to the Virtual Universe Network, to Amethyst Island and carefully supervise the activities of the Ganwu Department, from which he did find certain wrongdoings. However, against the passionate 3 tycoons, he was very lenient and let certain things slide. These 50 years. His origin law improvement had been slower. The universe laws, they got harder towards the back, and it wasn't a linear kind of increase. The 9-universe primal chaos tablets raindrop picture, drizzle, thunderstorm picture, each picture was much harder than before. The drizzle picture's 36 wonders of the space laws, he had completely comprehended, however the thunderstorm's even more profound 72 raindrops, even though he had some comprehension, he hadn't even completed one of the wonders. According to the book's description and his own projection, the hardest 72 wonders of the space law, the time spent would probably be 100 times, or even more than the amount of time used on the previous 36. Back then Lian Luo also spent 3,000 years studying in Primal Chaos City, before he finished all of them. It could only be imagined how profound it was. Comprehending the space laws, compared to comprehending the wonders of the space laws were of a different level altogether. However, he was different from Lian Luo. First, he had the 3 bodies to work on comprehension, especially with the golden horned beast with the Blood River world energy to amplify the origin laws, raising his comprehension, and melding by a total of 10 times. The Mosha clansman, as a favored child of space, its comprehension in the space law was terrifying too. With the 2 combined, he was definitely one of the most terrifying humans in the history of humanity. When I hit Sector Lord level, my comprehension speed will explode, with the Golden Horned Beast and the Mosha clansmen and their strengths. Lian Luo needed a total of 3,000 years even in Primal Chaos City. I won't even need 3,000 years in the actual universe. Luo Feng was very confident. The advantage of Primal Chaos City was one had the chance to go see the 9-universe tablet, and the universe laws revolving about. And he had something close to that effect. The Beast God statue and the time-space scribbles, even though he was not in Primal Chaos City, it wasn't too much lousier. A pity. A pity, I haven't been able to find the second black metal board. Luo Feng was dissatisfied within. Over these 50 years, his origin law comprehension had improved quite a bit, but that was within his expectations. And training that nameless manual, his Earth body had completed the first level in just 3 months. The Golden Horned Beast took a total of 29 years before it finished. The moment this first level was completed, his genes made his body evolve in and strengthen by 3 times. Even with the Golden Horned Beast's strengthen ability, it only raised it by 2 times. The first level of this nameless manual was already this powerful, simply unbelievable. A pity, there aren't any others. Luo Feng shook his head. However, I cannot be too greedy. Being able to find this first level of the nameless manual alone is already not bad. Luo Feng thought while he chatted with his second brother Thunder God. Suddenly, Luo Feng. Luo Feng. Barbata's voice resounded in his mind, there's a mail. Mail. Luo Feng swiftly sent a thread of consciousness into the virtual universe network. Yuseong Mountain Primal Region, Luo Feng's study in his villa. He sat before the desk with the fist-sized Barbata on his shoulder. The 2 stared at the laptop screen. There were a lot of details in the mail. However, it all simply said one thing. Ha ha ha, 50 years, the Virtual Universe Company has finally sent a mission. Barbata cheered excitedly. Yes, finally there's a mission, the points are quite high, according to the percentage of completion, the highest amount I can acquire is 200,000 points. Luo Feng smiled at the details of the mail. As the supervisor envoy, his first job was to supervise the Ganwu department, finishing that would give him 100,000 points. Of course, many primal region members that reach the domain lord level would stay there for tens of thousands of years. Simply getting 100,000 points for tens of thousands of years, that was impossible. Hence, on the day he took up this position, it was clearly stated that there would be some special missions for him to do. Everyone would have points for him to earn. Universe level, they could choose their own missions. Domain lord level, they could only wait patiently for the Virtual Universe Company to give them the missions. He had waited for 50 years. Finally there was a mission to do. Time to massacre. Luo Feng stared at the details. It's really hard to hit 100% of this mission, and the strongest warrior I need to kill is actually an official level Undying. 100% completion, over 100 million points. Barbata muttered, the Virtual Universe Company sure is vicious. When it involves war with the other races, it isn't strange the Virtual Universe Company is ruthless in its methods. Luo Feng looked at the details on the screen. This was the issue. Through the detailed investigation of the Virtual Universe Company, it confirmed that the Dream Underworld Empire of the Ganwu Universe country's royal family, the Yaohai family's head ancestor Yaohai and his disciple Jeffrey, the two Undyings had their souls invaded and controlled by the Bug Clan's warriors. Right now, the two Undyings had already become henchmen for the Bug Clan. The entire Yaohai family was being used by the Bug Clan. Over 3.22 million years, they secretly invaded. As the Yaohai family became traitors in the wars, there were huge losses for humanity. Mission targets: Yaohai family's suspects. Under him the 18 organizations of elites that were being controlled secretly, a total of 1.200 million people, along with the Undyings Yaohai and Jeffrey, kill all of them. The target's strengths in detail. 1. Yaohai and Jeffrey are normal Undyings of the Ganwu Universe country. After acquiring the Bug Clan's soul manuals, their powers grew greatly. Yaohai now has the strength of an official level Undying and Jeffrey has the power of a higher level general. 2. The normal 1.200 million members, a total of 39 sector lords, 812 domain lords, 91,256 universe levels. The number of star traveler and star levels aren't confirmed. Mission objectives. 1. Kill Yaohai, official level Undying. Completion will increase points by 20%. Failure would result in a deduction of 20%. 2. Kill Jeffrey, upper Undying general. Completion will increase points by 10%. Failure would result in a deduction of 10%. 3. Kill all 1.200 million. Completion will increase points by 15%. If even one survives, the mission is a failure, no penalty on failure. 4. Personally kill target Jesselai, Sector Lord Level 1. Completion will increase points by 10%, no penalty on failure. Personally kill target Biao Arifu, Sector Lord Level 1. Completion will increase points by 10%, no penalty on failure. Personally kill target Tan Bulin, Sector Lord Level 2. Completion will increase points by 15%, no penalty on failure. Personally kill target Biao Leida, Sector Lord Level 3. Completion will increase points by 20%, no penalty on failure. Resources you can use. 1 Ganwu Universe Country's 9th Army, Collective Army. 2 Golden Horn Race Pagoda Squadron. 3 Virtual Universe Company's Information System. Mission time limit, 1 year. Any mission not completed within the time frame will be deemed a failure. Mission rewards. Total completion at 200,000 points, final points awarded. Person accepting mission, Luo Feng. What a long introduction. Luo Feng sat at his desk and looked at the laptop screen, smiling. The virtual universe never really let me do things personally. If they wanted me to personally kill an official level Undying, I might as well give up immediately. The Golden Horn Race Pagoda Squadron. Barbata stared at the screen from Luo Feng's shoulder. The details of the mission were very long. Except for the most basic parts, there were still introductions of the 9th Army along with the Golden Horned Race Pagoda Squadron. I need to kill 1.200 million people this time. I definitely cannot do it myself. It would be even harder to not miss anybody. Luo Feng said seriously, allowing the 9th Army in will be nice, and against the 2 Undying, defeating them would be easy, killing them however would be extremely difficult. I'll need the Pagoda Squadron to do that. The Ninth Army was very strong. The Pagoda Squadron was an even more pinnacle force of undyings. I cannot delay. I'll prepare to head out today towards the Dream Underworld Empire's Red Dawn planet to meet the Golden Horn race people. Luo Feng emphasized. That day, Luo Feng informed his wife and children, along with his parents and brother before secretly leaving with the undying Dylan and 5 sector lords in the Yunmo planet ship, leaving Earth. The Yunmo planet ship swiftly flew through the dark universe at 50 times light speed. Within the control room, Luo Feng and Dylan sat within. Dylan, with your experience, how can I get the highest amount of points in this mission? The best is to get 100%. Luo Feng looked at the black-robed bald Dylan. In terms of experience and perspective, he paled in comparison to Dylan, and he didn't dare delay his first mission. Of the 4 parts of this mission, Dylan emphasized, the most troublesome is killing the 1.200 million targets. With so many targets after all, the moment you make a move, it would result in the groups of targets madly fleeing, and with 1.200 million fleeing madly in the universe, killing all of them cleanly is truly not realistic at all. Luo Feng nodded. In the vast universe, hiding in random corners would make them hard to locate. Hence, of the 4 missions, we have to be extremely careful about killing the 1.200 million targets. Dylan said, if we don't make a move, everybody must not move. The moment we do, we have to be like lightning, slaughtering all 1.200 million in a short amount of time. Understood. Luo Feng nodded. And killing the 2 undyings Yao Hai and Jeffrey comes with danger as well. Dylan frowned, his gaze cold. Any undying is extremely hard to kill, much less an official level undying, and the moment any information is leaked and any one of them flees, teleporting through their god countries, they can instantly travel to a faraway place in the universe. It'll be impossible to find them. Luo Feng nodded. Right. They couldn't be careless about this. Of the 4 missions, killing Yao Hai, Jeffrey, failure would result in deductions. Dylan emphasized, failure would not only mean no completion, it would even result in lesser points overall. Luo Feng nodded. If he had completed the other 2 missions, consecutively personally killing the 4 sector lords and got 55% completion, along with slaughtering the 1.200 million targets completely and acquiring the 15% addition. However, the moment he didn't kill the 2 undyings, that would mean a 30% deduction of his completion, leaving behind only 40% done at the end. Finally, the personally killing missions. Dylan smiled. Actually, these 4 sector lords are not important to the Virtual Universe Company, but their strength will give you a good chance to test your strength and abilities. Luo Feng nodded. 4 sector lords, 2 sector lord level 1, 1 level 2, and the last 1 level 3. Allowing a domain lord level 9 to go kill these sector lords, only the Virtual Universe Company would arrange for something like that. And the completion rate for these killings are pretty high. Killing all 4 would give you 55%. Even higher than killing the 2 undyings. Dylan laughed. Whether it was Luo Feng or Dylan. Towards the Virtual Universe Company's request of slaughtering the 1.200 million, they were only taken aback, but had no sense of unfairness or dissatisfaction. Because Luo Feng and Dylan, one had inherited memories, another was a powerful being that had lived for a long time, hence the 2 were clear on just how brutal the race wars were in the vast universe. Even a few of those other stronger races, having been exposed or revealed in humanity's regions, with no way to escape, they would go on a mad massacre, that alone could result in trillions of humans dying. Hence, the moment it was judged that one was a traitor of humanity, doing things for the other races, they would be sentenced to death immediately. Your Majesty, from here to Red Dawn planet, with the Yunmo planet ship speed, it'll take 16 days. Dylan smiled. Your Majesty should go rest. Luo Feng nodded and returned to his resting quarters. As he returned, he sent a thread of consciousness into the Virtual Universe network, and entered Amethyst Island. Virtual Universe, Amethyst Island. This incredibly beautiful island, that was made completely of amethyst, was the Ganwu Department's office. Envoy. Envoy. As Luo Feng walked within the majestic main palace, the domain lords, sector lords and undyings that saw him all bowed respectfully. After a while, he arrived at a reception hall. Luo Feng, hurry over. Purple Lightning official shouted passionately, the Ninth Army leader has been here a while already. Luo Feng smiled at Purple Lightning official and walked together to the hall. Within the spacious hall, there was a completely black stone table, around it were huge thrones. There were currently 3 sitting in the thrones. They were gold feather official, black yang official and a tall and skinny man, completely covered in green armor. This tall and skinny man was about 8 m tall, his skin was steel color, his gaze cold and his lips purple. Even as he sat there, he gave off a terrifying energy, almost as though he was made completely of endless lightning, no one could get close. And behind him stood a blur of undyings, with a glance, there was at least a 109th Army leader. Luo Feng smiled and walked over. Envoy. The tall and skinny man got down from the throne and smiled as he walked over. The two exchanged glances and smiled at each other. According to the Virtual Universe Company's order, our million soldiers of the Ganwu Universe country's 9th Army will be under your command. The tall and skinny man said seriously, his voice like two pieces of steel clanging against each other. There's no subservience, we are all fighting for Virtual Universe Company and humanity. Luo Feng smiled. The tall and skinny man couldn't help but smile wider as he heard this. After all, he was an official level undying and the leader of the 9th Army, his position was extremely high, hence when he heard he would be under a domain lord level 9 punk, he was somewhat unhappy within. However, after hearing Luo Feng's words, it kept the respect he deserved as an official level undying with great status. Luo Feng. The black-robed lady smiled, let me give you a simple introduction of the 9th Army. Luo Feng listened intently. The 9th Army is also named the 9th Collective Army, it is formed with 100 groups. The black-robed lady said, every group has 1 undying, 100 sector lords, 1,000 domain lords and 10,000 universe levels. The entire 9th Army has over 1 million soldiers. Luo Feng nodded. Every army that headed to the wars outside had at least 10,000 people. And Luo Feng's guard team was made up of 1 undying, 10 sector lords, 100 domain lords and 1,000 universe levels. It was only a tenth of a normal army. It was mostly only a guard team, but extremely important. Hence the sector lords within the team were all sector lord pinnacle, and all recognized by the origin laws. And the normal armies that went to wars weren't so extravagant. An army with 100 sector lords, there would probably only be a few at pinnacle level and recognized by the laws. This video will end here.